More Foundation is encouraging South Africans to rethink what it truly means to give and to choose gifts that restore dignity and create lasting impact in communities that need it most. Through its work in early childhood development and community upliftment, Do More and its partners are focused on improving the lives of young children and their families in under-resourced areas. To tell us a bit more about this foundation, we are joined on the line by Kara Goshen, the Do More UK and Communications lead. Kara, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I wish I could have heard the song so I could weigh in on
Oh
Selena's
man,
present.
actually,
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go back. I'm well, thank you, though. I'm actually based in London, so a little bit chilly, missing our summer sun, but you know how it goes.
Listen, we don't have much sun ourselves in Johannesburg today. Lately, it's been raining like crazy. But let's talk more about the Do More Foundation, just to get an understanding of the work that you do.
Yes, of course. So, yeah, the Do More Foundation, we're founded by RCL Foods, but really we partner far and wide to bring lasting change to young children in South Africa. For us, it's all about investing early. So we know that 90% of brain growth happens during the first 5 years of life, and that growth really is quite remarkable. So when this foundation is healthy, when learning is happening, when there's emotional well-being, we really are setting up children for a great and bright future. So what we call holistic development at the Do More Foundation is really how we support children. So from good nutrition to early learning, to supporting caregivers, child protection, maternal and child health. We know that they're far more likely to succeed when all of these are in place. So we work deeply in communities to bring this change to 23,000 children, lasting change. And yeah, we really do believe that investing early in early childhood development, birth to 5 years old, is how the most effective way, at least, to break the long-term cycles of poverty and inequality.
very important work indeed. We are speaking to Kara Goshen, who is communications lead at Do More in the United Kingdom, and we're really just trying to get an understanding as to what the work of the foundation is, what underpins their existence, but also how they are, looking for these gaps that seem to be emerging when we look at early childhood development and the effects of hunger on young children. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Are you fluent in French, Chinyanja, Portuguese, and Kiswahili? Are you passionate about radio? And are you looking to work in South Africa? Do you have papers that qualify you to work in South Africa? In that case, we might have an opportunity for you to work for Channel Africa. Send us your CV and demo at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Remember, if you don't hear from us within 14 days, it means you have not made it or you have not been selected. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
20 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's get back into our conversation about giving during this festive season. For many people, coming together with their families and friends, festivities, feasts. It's not the case for a lot of families, though, who often go home or go to bed hungry, not knowing what the next day is gonna bring for them, for their families, for their kids. How can we do better as a society, as a community, to support these struggling families? How can we help them? And we've got a foundation called the Do More Foundation, who are shining a light on early childhood development, the effects of hunger that it can have on the children, and what we can do as citizens to support them during this festive season.
Absolutely. Kara, just to pick up from, you were telling us about just some of the work that the foundation does and how you do the work and how you are, help breaking these cycles of poverty and hunger. Let's talk about the gaps that emerge for young children when schools and early childhood development, centers close, especially at this during the holiday period.
Yeah, so really the most immediate gap is food. We know that many children attending these ECD centers rely on the meals provided the year. So children also, when these ECD centers close, they will lose routines, safe spaces, access to early learning and stimulation. There's really a lot of pressure on families to meet all of these needs during quite a stressful period when they themselves income drops, food prices increase, and they have to kind of strike a balance in between.
Cara, let's talk about the impact. You lightly touched on it earlier during your questioning by Mmatsheko about the impact of hunger and food insecurity when it comes to early childhood development, kids between the ages of 0 to 5. And what impact does that have for the community at large when the children are not being fed, especially during this time of the year when they're seeing their friends being fed and going to bed full, but not so the case for many families?
I think it's a really good question, and it's definitely not an easy solve. It's something that we have to do and co-create with the community from the start, not just through the kind of festive season, but throughout the year. It's that long-term sustainable impact and work that really happens. So, for example, in the food and nutrition space, we support almost just over 30,000 children every day with Do More porridge at their ECD centers. At the same time, we put parents and caregivers through an amazing parent caregiver support program called Eat, Love, Play, Talk. And that really focuses on nutrition literacy and how parents and caregivers who may not have the most amount of income can really support this throughout the year. And that's through food gardens, both at the ECD center and within their household. What to feed their children, chicken livers, eggs, amazing source of protein and what that can do for the brain development, their growth and immunity. So it's finding sustainable ways versus just once-off ways to support the community as well.
Let's talk about your collaboration with RCL Foods. We know that they've given us, a lifetime of wonderful food products. So talk to us about how the Do More Foundation is working with RCL Foods, I believe since the year 2017, to make sure that nutrition reaches these lovely young children.
So it's an incredible partnership, and massive kudos to RCL Foods to really thinking about doing CSI differently. So they have set us up as our own nonprofit organization, being the Do More Foundation, and they support our backbone role in communities. And this allows us to work really, really deep in community and focus on systems change versus just, kind of supplying our favorite brands to parents and caregivers. So this is that holistic basket of services that I was speaking about. Through the support of RCL Foods and how they've managed to open up other CSI funders from customers and suppliers and other incredible corporates in the country, we're actually able to develop to kind of deliver broader baskets of services to ECD centers. So like I said, that includes not just nutrition, but also early learning, parent and caregiver support, child protection, maternal and child health, bringing in government to work with us. It's a really interesting model that we're working with them and what they're actually enabling us to do on the ground.
And Cara, what can the communities do? What can we, the average South African in our communities, how can we help? Where can we start in the simplest way possible to ensure that the festive giving continues and reaches places that otherwise would not have been reached? Where can we start?
So in South Africa, we have got the most incredible group of nonprofit organizations doing amazing work on the ground. So when it comes down to selecting a charity or a nonprofit organization, choose organizations that are transparent and that work closely with community, meaning they're driven by the needs of the community and not their own agendas. So, for example, Food Fawn at the moment is running an amazing campaign, the Food Box campaign, to really support food insecure households during this festive season. But if you're interested in kind of longer term work, look at Do More Foundation, Lula Mapiko, ACFS. There really is a huge amount of work being done in the space. So monetary donations are great because that really gives us sustainability to do the work long term. If you have volunteer experience or you have got a specific set of skills that you want to offer, organizations always are looking for that. Even you as a parent or, community member, families with young children, festive season is a rough time. So if you can offer, I don't know, maybe go and read a book with their children or bring some games or, stimulate them. If you've got some leftover tinned goods in your cupboard, find a donation or a food bank near you to help out. There's so many ways that you can be of service to larger communities during this festive season and actually throughout the year, really.
Throughout the year, very, very important. Kara, we obviously at the tail end of 2025 and your annual impact report is out. Anything that you can mention around some of the goals that were achieved, in this year and of course looking ahead into 2026?
Thank you. Our annual report was a really fun thing to get involved and actually write out our impact. I think one of our biggest highlights has really been our partnership or the MOU signed with Department of Basic Education, where they've seen how everyone gets to play model, the systems change, the multiplier effect, this collective impact of South Africans coming together to raise the next generation, and fully endorsed that. We've got amazing buy-in from government on the ground and getting systems working. And just the reach itself, 23,000 children, it's a lot, and all the systems that we're changing for the children to come.
And Kara, where can we find you on the socials, website as well, so we can find the nearest ECD center, so we can help and show up as South Africans and as Africans indeed?
Sure. So our website is domore.org.za. We're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. It's the Do More Foundation Trust or at Do More. You'll be able to find us. It's the big blue logo. You can't miss it.
All right, Kara, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. And then I guess festive greetings that you'd like to share to not just the people living in South Africa, but for the Do More Foundation, who do such an incredible job year in, year out.
Thank you so much for all the partnerships, for the belief, for the hard work. It really does take a village to raise a child, and we're doing some amazing work together. So I really am just so grateful for everyone that came on board this year, and invite anyone else who wants to be part of the change to come on next year too.
Amazing. The voice of Kara Goshen, Do More UK and Communications Lead. It's 30 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. I guess the key there is during this time of the year, no child should be left behind. If you can help out, help out. And we always said that Ubuntu is what identifies and categorizes us as Africans. We are, I am because we are. And during this time of the year, if you see someone is struggling, help, give a lending hand. Go to that house where you know that there's not a income coming in. It's a single parent household, or even a child-led household. Help out as best as you can, monetarily or physically. Just showing up, it would make a massive difference to these children.
Absolutely. Also, for those that participate in personal curriculums, teaching yourself new skills, etc., perhaps incorporate, how to kind of distribute resources. How do we do that? How do we share? I mean, our mothers were brilliant at this. Our grandmothers know how to take one potato, one carrot, one tamati, and literally feed a family of 5. So we need to go back to teaching ourselves how to do that, how to share resources with others, because I don't think we have an abundance problem. We just have a problem of how to build community and how to share resources. So something to think about as you embark on your personal curriculum. It is 1:30. Let's check in with sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
It's a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Mosibu Dimakura with the latest sports news. At the SAWA, so Nigeria have submitted a petition to FIFA alleging the Democratic Republic of Congo fielded ineligible players in their Africa Cup of Nations qualifier, or rather their African qualifier for next year's FIFA World Cup. That's according to the NFF spokesperson. Now, the DR Congo beat Nigeria on penalties just last month to keep alive their hopes of appearing at next year's tournament in North America, and are now set to compete in an Confederation playoff in March of next year, where 6 teams will chase 2 places in the 48-team finals. Now, the NFF said several dual nationality players have been cleared to play for the Democratic Republic of Congo without meeting the required criteria. Now, DR Congo's federation has now rejected these allegations made by the NFF. The World Cup, by the way, is co-hosted by the USA, Canada, as well as Mexico, will run from the 11th of June, concluding on the 19th of July. Well, Zimbabwean captain Marvelous Nakamba has preached a message of support as the side jetted off to Morocco for the Africa Cup of Nations tournament that begins this weekend. It's been a turbulent last few weeks for the Warriors of Zimbabwe, having initially sealed qualification for the continental competition, but then failed in their attempt to secure a spot at the FIFA World Cup in the Americas next year. Coach Michael Nice was sacked and replaced by Mario Marineka earlier on last month, but Ngamba says they believe they are ready for North Africa.
That's the main focus also for us as football players. We're going there to compete. So I think we just have to believe in ourselves, to give everything with the support also from you guys back home. I think you've been fantastic supporting the team. So now it's up to the players to push each other and fight for the badge, fight for the flag of the country.
Now, Ngamba also admits that a Group B opener against Egypt will be a match that then sets the tone for the rest of the competition, where they are seen as the underdogs.
Yeah, of course. I think football is about competition. I think each and every group is tough. Of course, we're playing against Egypt's first match, Angola and USA. But I think we just have to focus on ourselves, to have a great game plan, and to push each other and fight for the country.
By the way, Zimbabwe are in the same group as South Africa. So it's South Africa, it is Zimbabwe, Angola, as well as Egypt in Group B. While Ecuador defender Mario Pineda has died at the age of 33 after being killed in Guayaquil. Now, local media reported that the player was shot on Wednesday by 2 people on motorbikes who opened fire on him, his mother, as well as another woman outside a shop in the northern part of the city. Ecuador's Interior Ministry said it has sent a special police unit to investigate his killing. Guayaquil has become a hotspot for gang violence as well as drug trafficking, with 1,900 murders recorded between January and September of this year, the highest in Ecuador. Now, 3 second-tier footballers were killed in September and a local player was wounded in a shooting in October. And finally, South Africa's hopes of winning the 5-match T20 series against India was cut short by conditions on Wednesday, with the 4th game being called off in Lucknow without a ball being bowled. In a rare occurrence, the game was not scratched due to the weather, but rather due to the smog which prevented the game from not going ahead. Match officials did all the work, with the umpires having to walk onto the pitch 6 times to assess the conditions before they eventually decided to abandon the game nearly 2.5 hours after it was scheduled to start. And that's a wrap from the sports desk at the SAWA. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, our email address is newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or call us on +27 11714 4459. I'm back with more sports news in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosibu Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. Channel Africa is evolving, and so are you. Stay connected wherever you are with our brand new website and mobile app. Stream your favorite shows. Catch up on African news, culture, and conversations, all at your fingertips.
Africa's just a tap away.
Your world, your stories, now on the go.
Stay connected wherever you are.
Visit channelafrica.co.za or download the Channel Africa app today. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
36 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest business news.
Business news on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Thanks, Tebogo, and good afternoon. Gabon is planning to introduce a new housing tax in January to finance the Central African oil-producing country's needs as its debt continues to rise. The country is facing an acute squeeze on liquidity that has left it increasingly reliant on regional capital markets. Special Advisor Mary Noala Adameo says authorities are working on a tax that will be paid monthly by an owner of a dwelling or a tenant. Mayo adds that Gabon's treasury will use the funds to improve public lighting, road maintenance and city cleanliness. Uganda's export earnings nearly doubled in October from the same period last year, driven by a surge in revenue from commodities such as coffee, cocoa and gold. A report from the Finance Ministry shows that Uganda's merchant goods export earnings rose to $1.5 billion in October from $769.6 million in the same month in 2024. Uganda is Africa's largest exporter of coffee, and its earnings from the crop have been surging in recent months, boosted by high global prices. Guinea's Simandou mega mining project is laying off thousands of workers just as it begins exporting iron ore after decades of delays and corruption scandals. The project was officially launched in November ahead of elections on the 28th of December, the first since the military coup in 2021 that brought Mamadi Doumbouya to power. Chanduko Lekeke has more.
The junta leader is standing for president, and political analysts say he is the favorite to win, meaning he could be in power for another 7 years. Even without Simandou, the world's largest untapped reserve of iron ore, Guinea is the world's biggest exporter of bauxite, used to make aluminium. Its mining wealth, however, has failed to transform the lives of citizens. World data published in 2025 show that more than half of the population lives in poverty.
In 2025, Ethiopia will have emerged as one of the fastest growing economies in sub-Saharan Africa. After years of conflict, debt distress and foreign currency shortages, the government has pushed ahead with wide-ranging economic reforms aimed at restoring investor confidence. This year has seen a renewed engagement with international lenders, a push to liberalize key sectors such as telecoms and finance. Founder and Chief Executive Officer at Pragma Investment Advisor, Merit Figuerehonas, says that this year Ethiopia achieved milestones.
Since July 2024, we announced the IMF package program, and then the country has been undertaking a huge macroeconomic reform in all fronts in terms of restructuring its debt, both foreign debt, and then at the same time restructuring the domestic debt, floating its currency, and since floating of its currency, then establishing a new monetary policy.
Oil prices rose slightly as investors assessed the likelihood of further U.S. sanctions against Russia and the supply risks posed by a blockade of Venezuelan oil tankers. Brent crude rose 32 U.S. cents or 0.54% to $60 per barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was up 38 cents or 0.68% at $56.32 per barrel. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 453. Botswana 13 pula 8. Kenya 128 shilling 3, and Zambia 22 kwacha 93. The BRICS countries in Brazil, the dollar there will cost you 5.50. Russia 80 rubles 1. India 90 rupees 47. China 7 yuan 3. And in South Africa, the dollar will cost you 16 Rand 77 cents. 75 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Gold is trading at $4,032. Platinum, $1,936 per ounce. Brent crude oil is at $59.97 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Thabiso Lekhuleni.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628.
Siyabangena manje. Vito iJabulani Nkolele iMagoda. Jabulani is a young man from Giyani in Limpopo in South Africa. A very easy guy, taking things easy. To know me is to know that I love what I do, which I'm crazy about it. So when you hear me on radio, expect the best. Expect great music. Expect great content. Expect 180 minutes of nothing but fun. You'll find me on the morning reset, 3 to 6 a.m., Monday to Friday. Siyabangena baba. Ay. Mbuleke.
No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
Make you come fresh. Make we no throw away. Oh, make we no forget. Yeah, make your day. Swing your love my way. Baby, no today. You want to fight or you want to stay? Do me wrong and I take all the blame. Do me something or make I go crazy. Say you want and you need. When you call her the busy. Oh, make me take on the easy. Teach your love to the greedy. Something, yeah. Dealing with my stress, dealing with your stress, and you know I'm dealing with my friends, I'm dealing with your friends, and you know it. We're gonna get mad sex, we're gonna get mad sex, and you know we gotta make you come fresh, we gotta make you come fresh, then you know, like I know, that you know, that I know. Something, yeah. Dealing with my stress, dealing with your stress, and you know I'm dealing with my friends, I'm dealing with your friends, and you know it. We're gonna get mad sex, we're gonna get mad sex, and you know we gotta make you come fresh, we gotta make you come fresh, then you know, like this you know, that I love,
Tebogo and Mmatsheko from the upside.
Initiating rage process.
Wine up for me, slow down for me. Yeah, boo. Only while on your me, I'm on your dance for me. Girl, you the best, girl, you the best. All over me, all over me. Need you in my bed, need you in my bed. Rotate time for me, rotate time for me. Girl in my place, there's no other place. So I don't decrease, girl I don't decrease. Oh, you're Belinda, your waist, it be like Cylinder, your waist. They do me like Kaluba for chase. Oh, you're Belinda, no stress. Oh, you're Belinda, your waist, it be like Cylinder, your waist. They do me like Kaluba for chase. Ya Belinda, no stress me. Onjo kisa, everybody ya get me travel. That no visa, open like shade, kilo bade. And baby fine like Beyonce, back at big cardi, killer my shit. Take time for me, bro, take time for me, time for me. My Anthony, can't shit look me. Only your love, while I come. She said, I want you to be the guy who could do for my coolie. Need you in my bed, need you in my bed. Rotate time for me, rotate time for me. Girl in my place, there's no other place. So I don't decrease, girl I don't decrease. You're Belinda, your waist, it be like Cylinder, your waist. They do me like Kaluba for chase. You're Belinda, no stress. You're Belinda, your waist. It be like Cylinder, your waist. They do me like Kaluba for chase. You're Belinda, no stress. Oh, she don't, we go dinner. Carolina. See, I know you waste your time, Olina. Money day for pocket, get more moolah. Kaloma loga drama, yeah. Maloma shala, yeah. Come on, love away. Oh, baby. Need you in my bed, need you in my bed. Rotate time for me, rotate time for me. Girl in my place, there's no other place. So I don't decrease, girl I don't decrease. You're Belinda, your waist, it be like Cylinder, your waist. They do me like Kaluba for chase. You're Belinda, no stress. You're Belinda, your waist, it be like Cylinder, your waist. They do me like Kaluba for chase. You're Belinda, no stress.
10 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African Time. LAX featuring Olamide pulling through with Belinda. And before that, we had Mad by SARS and World. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick breather. When we get back on the other side of this, it's time to get some stuff off your chest with Vent O'Clock.
Ahoy, matey!
Captain here to help, right, boys?
Set sail with us on a digital voyage like no other. Channel Africa has a treasure trove of awesomeness. That is our website and social media pages.
Tell me, why are you here?
We want you to be part of our adventure.
The winds are changing, Captain. And this time...
Imagine a world where curiosity knows no bounds, where entertainment meets enlightenment, and where every click leads to the African perspective. Visit us on our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, or follow us on Instagram or on X at Channel Africa 1. Go on, like us on Facebook at Channel Africa 1. So, spread the word. Tell a friend that Channel Africa's online variety is what they need on the web. Channel Africa, the African perspective. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
It's 9 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time. This is indeed The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and Mmatsheko Mosito. We're still coming to you live from the Auckland Park studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Join us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Don't forget to download our brand new Channel Africa app so you can take us with you wherever you go on your Android or your iOS device. It's time for Vent O'Clock. Get it off your chest. Mine is very quick, very simple. There's apparently a new pandemic that's out. And the pandemic is of photographers. Photographers at events. You know, asking you to pose, taking a picture of you. Mmatsheko, please turn to your left.
Yes.
And then they pull out that little Yoko machine or that speed point and say, okay, 50 rand a picture. But I didn't ask you, my brother. I didn't ask you. You came to me and said you want to take a picture of me. Why must I now pay for these pictures? Have you been approached by such people? Has that happened to you?
It's actually happened to me at Camps Bay, but this was a few years ago. When I was in Cape Town. A guy just started taking pictures of us on the beach, y'all. And then he's like, okay, well, but it's I mean, you are allowed to decline.
Fair enough.
Yes. So it's not like he's going to phone the popo when you refuse to pay. He shows you the pictures, and if you like them, unfortunately, they are not free.
Oh my goodness me. My goodness me. But also, don't you need consent? I mean, usually they will take a picture of you, sometimes without you even paying attention. Then they come to you and my brother, come see yourself. Look at that. Look how beautiful.
Yes, they do that.
Look how beautiful. Look how handsome you look.
Look at how cute you are.
Look how cute. 100 rand. 100 rand a picture.
Cutie patootie.
And also, they don't make it easy. They don't make it easy for you to say no either.
No, it's a proper psychological game. I love it for them.
All right. So this festive season, if someone takes a picture of you at an event, you are allowed to say no. Please don't feel pressured to pay because they took a picture of you. And photographers, please, I know we know you're doing your jobs, ne? But please ask, so that you don't waste film or space. Ask, and then we'll allow you to take the picture. And you know that for those pictures, we are paying for them. Anyway, what do you want to vent about?
I take it you don't like it. That's why you're venting about it. Okay, so weight loss.
Yes, what about weight loss?
Weight loss is a problem, Chief, especially in this day and age with the popularity of weight loss drugs. Is so I treat the segment, it's kind of like these are concerns that I have more than vents. I am concerned about how we have turned weight loss into like we've medicalized it, and it's so much deeper than that. There are deeper issues that are rooted in people's weight gain that are not being addressed. So we just slapping drugs on top of the issue, and then we keep it moving because we want to look cute for social media, and we want to perform for our boyfriends on social media so that they can like the pictures and then not just be distracted by other body parts on Instagram.
100%.
That's what's happening.
Yes.
Let's just be truthful about what's happening. Yes. But the issue that is very naughty, but we'll deal with it off air. People are dealing with chronic stress and burnout.
Yeah.
People are dealing with hormonal disruptions. There's things in the air. There's environmental changes that are contributing to our hormonal changes.
Yeah.
Trauma and grief is a physical thing, believe it or not, and that contributes to weight gain. Our food systems are contributing to why we have a weight issue as society. Sleep deprivation, overworking, all those issues. So we cannot just take a pharmaceutical approach to this, and that being the only thing, where we'll just inject you into a better life. I don't think it works that way. So I'm very concerned about how we are dealing with weight issues and not addressing what exactly is happening with the person, and then dealing with that and then treating that instead of just, proudly wearing the Ozempic t-shirt or I don't know, I saw some other woman who runs a beauty parlor. I don't know, she's taking something else. And I mean, she's lost all her weight and she's lost all her muscles, and she's slapping on long eyelashes and telling women to take this drug. And I think it's just so irresponsible. And, and I'm very careful because I know that it's your body, you do whatever you want with it. But what are the repercussions of us doing that? In the now, it's just a concern. It's your body, you do what you want, nip and tuck, take Ozempic and whatever else is out there. But then what are the effects of that if you haven't actually dealt with why you've gained so much weight in the first place? So just a concern, socially, emotionally, systematically, that weight gain is rooted in other issues. No, it's not just about injecting it away.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, because there are those solutions now available. There are the Ozempics of the world. There are the surgeries of the world. You can get that six-pack by going to Turkey or whatever. It makes it all the more difficult because now you can pay to have that body. They will then deal with the repercussions thereof in the long term. Right now, it may look good, but the effects of it are long-lasting, and it's maybe 5-10 years later that you realize that this was a bad idea.
This was not good.
And
for
you're
me.
right. The root of it must be dealt with. The root cause. Why are you eating the way you are eating? Why is your lifestyle as it is? Those are the things that we need to deal with. But it's a concern, a valid concern, especially during this festive season when people are going to feel like, hey, man, I'm going to eat an extra burger, an extra what, and feel guilty because I'm supposed to be all skinny and whatever, but I'm not really because of the way, the means in which I got here. It's a challenging time of the year also.
It's not just about the food.
It's really not.
It's not just about the food. There are other contributing factors to weight gain that we're not dealing with. Grief, as I'd mentioned, trauma makes people gain weight. Loss, sleep deprivation,
stress,
chronic stress. So just be mindful. Take Ozempico, but just be extra mindful.
Ozempico?
And just be mindful.
Ozempico? Anyway, it's now 2 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time. I love the concern. Maybe we should give people tips on how to get through this festive season without that guilt. And as I'm specifically talking about the food guilt.
Yes.
Because this time of the year,
there's that too.
There's an expectation that you must eat everything. You go and visit family, there's braais every single day. From now until January, there'll be a braai every single day. And pap and what.
Braais.
Exactly. So we must actually be giving tips on how should they manage. Should they say no to their families? Should they portion control? What should they have alternatives instead of pap? Have maybe something. We should be doing that actually during this festive season. I think on one of these days on the upside, we must have a dietitian or nutritionalist help us navigate this festive season, man. Eating.
No, I'm going to disagree with that. I don't want to hear from a nutritionist in December.
You don't want to hear?
I want abundance in December.
The cycle will continue.
Abundance maybe of the good stuff. How's that?
Well,
large fruit salads and big abundant plates of actual real food.
You see, but you need someone to help you navigate and say,
I don't want to count my calories.
Here's the thing. We're going to be in the same cycle. We're going to be in the same cycle. We're going to be eating. And then in January, we're all signing up for that gym membership thing.
That's another thing. Another thing.
It's a cycle. It's gone 2 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the second hour, the golden hour of the upside. Before we get into our festivities, let's get the latest news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Top stories: Asawa uncertainty about the withdrawal of M23 rebels in the city of Uvira, and the UK empowers its teachers. Good afternoon, I'm Jolani Tulo Wepe. The Democratic Republic of Congo says it has yet to verify reports that the M23 rebels are withdrawing from the eastern city of Uvira. Wire service Reuters reported yesterday that residents said the rebels had not withdrawn. The group says it began pulling out its fighters, but a Congolese government spokesperson, Patrick Muyaya, was skeptical about the claim.
Of course, it's diversion. We all know that is about Rwandan different forces acting. We should make sure we can verify identify how many there were in Uvira, why leaving, what they live in the city. Most of the time, we know the way M23 or Rwanda different forces acting. They can remove some part of military, certain can like war like civilians and being in the city.
Widespread power outages have been reported in the biggest Sudanese cities, Khartoum and Port Sudan, after drone strikes hit a power plant. Witnesses say flames and thick smoke were seen rising from a power station in Akba in the eastern Nile state, an area controlled by the army. The army has been fighting the rival paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, in a protracted conflict that's devastated Sudan. The BBC's Richard Gargo has more.
The strikes hit transformers at the Al Bukrain power station, a critical hub in Sudan's electricity network. An official told the French news agency that 2 people were killed while trying to put out a fire after the first drone strike. Several others were injured when the facility was hit again in a second attack. Al Bukrain receives power from Sudan's largest hydroelectric source before it is redistributed to other parts of the country, meaning the damage has had a far-reaching impact. The paramilitary Rapid Support Forces have been accused of carrying out drone attacks across areas controlled by the army, frequently targeting civilian infrastructure.
South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has expressed optimism at the prospect of realizing a peaceful SADC region. This as the one-day SADC Extraordinary Summit ended yesterday with the deployment of the panel of elders and mediation reference group to Madagascar to help finding a solution. The summit also considered a report of a fact-finding mission to Madagascar. In October, the country experienced a military takeover sparked by massive youth-led protests against President Andry Rajoelina over water and power shortages. SADC leaders have also called for dialogue. Ramaphosa elaborates.
The developments in Madagascar in September this year brought to the fore the urgent need to accelerate the implementation of our regional development objectives to attain our SADC Vision 2050. This vision seeks to achieve a region whose peoples live in peace and harmony and can realize their economic potential. Like all peoples in our region and our continent, the people of Madagascar yearn for a durable peace and development. We have a collective responsibility as the SADC region to make this a reality.
The driver of a bus travelling from the Gauteng province of South Africa to Malawi has been arrested for overloading on the N1 road in Polokwane in the Limpopo province today. Transport Department spokesperson Madume Dawiatswala says the 65-seater bus was carrying 117 passengers and one driver. Dawiatswala says the bus was carrying 52 passengers beyond its legal capacity. He says the driver attempted to flee the scene during the arrest.
During the stop, the driver attempted to flee the scene. He was promptly intercepted, restrained and arrested by the officers from the South African Police Service. The bus will remain at the PTCC until the excess passengers are removed and the prescribed fine is settled.
And finally, teachers in the United Kingdom will be given training to spot the signs of misogyny and tackle it in the classroom. This is part of the government's long-awaited strategy to halve violence against women and girls in the next decade. The plans, which focus on preventing the radicalization of young men, are due to be unveiled today after being pushed back 3 times this year. Pupils will be taught about issues such as consent, the dangers of sharing intimate images, how to identify positive role models, and to challenge unhealthy myths about women and relationships. The $27 million package will also include a new helpline for teenagers to get support for concerns about abuse in their own relationships. Recapping the top story this hour, the Democratic Republic of Congo says it has yet to verify reports that the M23 rebels are withdrawing from the eastern city of Uvira. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo-Wepe.
SABC News. The African Perspective. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
Hey, man. That's my remix. Welcome to the second hour of The Upside. Thank you very much for tuning in. Tebogo and Mmatsheko with you as The Upsider until 4 p.m. in Central African Time. We're talking books, knowledge, yes. SA Books Online, a homegrown digital platform that is seemingly changing spaces when it comes to South African storytelling and publishing, and also how we discover books online. So we're going to talk about this platform with the founder of this particular platform. He's an award-winning author, he's a poet, he's a filmmaker. His name is Mosito Manqa in the studio. Do you shop for books online? Like, I hardly shop for books online. I'm so old school, it is painful. Really, it is.
Once I've bought a book online, but for the most part, physically going into the store, or into a bookshop, and taking that book, feeling it with my hands, going through it, and then buying it from there. But only once have I ever bought it online. But I think we're in a digital age now, right? And
Totally.
more and more authors need to get their books out on online platforms. And I think what he's doing here with SA Books Online is allowing authors to upload their work, their books online, manage and sell their books digitally, which I think is a brilliant initiative.
It really is, and it just makes the book international.
Absolutely.
Because now it's off of the normal shelf. You've put it on a global stage now. Anyone can buy it when it's online. So here we are. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about books. We're going to talk about the space of online, and also how it is creating a space and a circle for homegrown authors to grow.
Tell me, you mentioned online, and immediately I started laughing, because how many times do we hear number one bookseller? We hear that all the time. Go to America, every single week there's a number one book. I'm like, you're the number one. Who voted? How? How does that work? Is this only
crazy?
Is this online platform, and through downloads then they become the number one author in New York or something like that? Do you think that's going to be the case then with an online platform like this one, where you're then able to measure how many people downloaded the book, bought the book, and therefore you now qualify as the number one? I'm confused by those things.
It's a long story.
Personally.
No, but also reading cultures are different. The reading culture in the United States is completely different to ours. And also the number of books that are released in the United States on a daily basis.
It's crazy, eh?
Will make your head spin. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then there are very established platforms in the US that have that review books. And it's a huge business. New York Times bestseller, for example, a big platform that has existed for eons of time. And if they say you are a bestseller, then you are a bestseller, because they've got professional reviewers that sit and read the books and go through them, and then they determine where you are on this hierarchy of best-selling. So it's a completely different ball game in the States, but we are also trying to inculcate a culture of reading in our country. So platforms like these are very, very important.
Absolutely. 10 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time, our conversation with the founder of SA Books Online, Mr. Mosito Manqa, is coming up next.
Este é o Caleidoscópio de Canal África, com Moreno Samo e João Yabalá.
A situação do ativista angolano Serrote José de Oliveira, preso desde julho, tem gerado grande preocupação internacional. Conhecido como General Nila e presidente do movimento União Nacional para a Total Revolução de Angola, Serrote iniciou uma greve de fome em protesto contra a sua prisão, que considera arbitrária. De acordo com a Amnistia Internacional, o estado de saúde do ativista está a deteriorar-se rapidamente devido à falta de acesso a cuidados médicos adequados. Para discutir o impacto deste caso e o estado da liberdade política em Angola, vamos conversar com Dito Dale, ativista e defensor dos direitos humanos.
Nós estamos diante de uma clara estratégia de aniquilar o jovem, porque quando uma pessoa está doente, deve ser assistido. Ao não proporcionar esses cuidados médicos, o que é que o regime quer? Não quer que esse jovem saia livre e com vida da prisão, quer matá-lo.
De segunda a sexta-feira, das 20 às 21 horas locais, este é o Caleidoscópio de Canal África.
No fairy tales, just the facts and the music you love on Channel Africa.
walai, walai. You want a vacation, oh baby? Come to Dubai, Dubai. I'ma uje bongo Kilimanjaro, one Masai, Masai. I want you, I love you, man. I want your party na China, China. Ooh, nana, you're so pretty, nana. When you shake your nana, I wanna touch your nana. You're so beautiful. Cute face just like your mama. Kiuno, nataka kiuno na ichoka kupa mama. Eti nataka aki. We got strong bonding, baby, you're my zombie. I go bite your neck, still I fight, baby, I'm your zombie.
It's 2:15 p.m. Central African Time. The name of the song, Songi Songi by Mmatsheko. Welcome to the golden hour, the second hour of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective, with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and Mmatsheko Mosito. Join us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok, where we are streaming live, and you'll see our lovely studio, our amazing guest, and you're more than welcome to interact with us and let us know how your day is going. How's your festive season going so far? Are you on leave yet? Are you planning on going away this festive season? WhatsApp us your plans, +2763 406 9126. Let's take a corner, or let's take a turn into the author's corner, the writer's block, and let's talk about some important literary innovations happening in South Africa.
You've got English, man.
It's the book, it's the author, and he brought it out of me.
16 minutes into 2 p.m. in Central African Time. And of course, if you've heard our throw forward, we're talking about a platform known as SA Books Online, which is homegrown right here in South Africa. And it's a digital space that is basically just sort of shifting and changing how South Africans are telling their stories, how we are publishing the stories. And our little off-air conversation with our guests just made me realize how political the space is, but also how we share books and discover new authors. Very, very important. Built to help authors and publishers take their work online, this is a platform that allows writers to upload, to manage, and to sell their books digitally. Okay, but we're not the experts. we've got the expert in studio. He's an award-winning author, he's a poet, he's a filmmaker, and understands the space very well. Sbuso Manga joins us in studio, and we're going to talk about the platform. Welcome to the show. So wonderful to meet you.
Thank you guys for having me. It's lovely meeting you.
Yeah, your interest in books, obviously the space of film, the space of poetry, there's lots of words. So talk to us about your love for words and books.
I grew up as a mischievous child, and I found out there that I'm quite good with words in a weird way. So that's where my love for books came from, and I used to sell a lot at school. So I had to be innovative in terms of how I sell products. And then at a later stage, when I just started to scribble in my book, I actually found out that I can write. And when I showed it to my teacher then in high school, I said, look at the stuff that I'm writing. And she was like, it's better than the things that we're doing in class right now. And then since then, I never stopped.
What were you writing about during that time?
I was it's gonna be funny. My first poem was called "I'm a 21st Century Activist."
Oh wow. Do you remember it?
That sounds very prophetic.
Right?
I don't even remember it. I just remember the title. Because I remember years later thinking to myself, why the hell was I a naughty activist in class?
That sounds very prophetic, because this is a form of activism, man. Getting books online, very, very important. We're 18 minutes into 2 p.m. in Central African time, joined in studio by the founder of SA Books Online, which is a homegrown digital platform here in South Africa that is about putting authors online, okay, and telling our stories authentically. We have the author in studio, or rather the founder, the founder of this particular platform. He's an award-winning author himself. He's a poet. He's a filmmaker. Sbuso Manga joins us in studio. Let's take a break. We'll be back.
Madapiri bazoshitika. Madapiri bazoshitika.
Madotolo oposa 1,500 amene amagwira ntchito yaulere mu zipatala zaboma mu dziko la Zambia azanyanyala ntchito lachisanu sabata ya mawa, ndipo Daniel Shabanda kutambasula nkhani.
Madotolo oposa 1,500 amene amagwira ntchito mopanda malipiro apamwezi dziko la Zambia akuyembekezera kuyamba kunyanyala ntchito. Ichi ndi chifukwa chakuti boma lalephera walemba ntchito monga mmene lidawalonjezera. Channel Africa News yalankhulana ndi mkulu wa bungwe la madotolo la Resident Doctors Association of Zambia, Dr. Pochiwe, akugomeza kuti madotolo ambiri amene akugwira ntchito mu zipatala zaboma akugwira ntchito yaulere, ndipo ali ndi chiyembekezo chakuti tsiku lina adzalembedwa ntchito ndi boma.
Zochitika pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo. Lolemba mpaka lachisanu ndi Madapiri. Conversations are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Your afternoons just got even better, fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective.
21 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time, we are still hanging out with the founder of SA Books Online, Sbusiso Manga. He's here to tell us more about the platform, where he's, allowing authors to publish their books online, to manage their presence online, to sell their books online. I want to find out about the inception point of SA Books Online. What was the need that you were trying to, or the solution you were trying to bring, and the problem you were trying to solve at that time?
I remember when I was putting out my book, I Think I'm Depressed. And when I was doing a lot of research online, I found out other territories around the world were exploring the digital space. And I did not know how the ecosystem was like in South Africa digitally, regardless of me involved in the industry. And I was like, okay, I'm looking for a platform where it's a central platform for South African books where I can sell my book. And I looked for it online. I looked for SA books online and I couldn't find it. I'm like, okay, I've been an entrepreneur for years. I've seen a gap and this is a space that I'm completely passionate about. So let's do it. We built a prototype in 2021 and held, or before the prototype, we had workshops called Writing in the Digital Age, just to find out, would people be interested in this? We had about 103 authors participating over a period of 8 weeks. And those were first 100 clients that came on board that said, if you build that platform, we'll come on board.
Love it.
That's really amazing. We're talking off air about the fact that that's where the world is going. We're going digital, so you're definitely onto something. And also 500 authors, I understand, are already on the platform as you and I speak. So talk to us about building from prototype to 100 authors to now 500 authors that are on board.
Oh, building it. We're still building it, and it is so difficult because first of all, we caught between an art space and a tech space. And when you talk to a funder, they want you to choose a box instead of choose both boxes. And it becomes quite difficult to raise funds for this because it's not cheap to build a technological solution and to sustain it on a monthly basis. And then secondly, you have to now talk to the first market, which are the authors and publishers. And a lot of them have good stories, but a lot of them are not tech savvy. So while trying to sell, you're also educating. So it takes a bit longer sometimes to recruit or onboard somebody. As much as we've made the CMS or the dashboard to be quite straightforward, people still need assistance with that. Thirdly, or the other market would be the readers. Now, when you come onto a platform, when the platform is new, not a lot of big names to hop onto the platform. It's a lot of unknown. And then when he's talking to a reader is like, I'm looking for such and such a book and such a book. And it's not yet there. So that has been the struggle in building SA books online. But now we're seeing a big change in terms of now we're seeing people just create profiles for themselves. We're seeing people just transact for themselves. And that's the beauty of the platform, so that writing can become a sort of reliable revenue stream, because it hasn't for a number of years. So now if you have the tools to track your sales, to track your traffic, with your limited resources, you can target where you're going to have a book reading. You understand? Sometimes just because you're from Soweto, you may think that people in Soweto want your book. Can't it's people at Dojo and Eastern Cape. And then if you don't have that data, you will spend all of your resources trying to talk to the Soweto people.
That's profound.
So optimize your resources, use technology, and give the customer choice. That has been the problem. You understand? We as authors, because we are traditionalists, we are in the space. We talk about how pages smell and feel. Like, no. You're not the buyer or the reader. You're the writer. If the customer wants it digitally, can they find it digitally? If the customer wants to listen to it, can they listen to it? So that's another thing that has been hindering a lot of progress on a lot of authors' journeys, that they don't give the customer choice.
Yeah. Tell us how the platform works for both the author and publisher and for the reader, so that we have a gauge of what we are walking into when we go to SA Books Online.
Let me start with the reader. It's quite simple for them. They just go to sabooksonline.co.za or just Google SA Books Online. I'm glad to say we have a powerful SEO. And then they'll see books on there. And then they'll click on a book, whether it's whether the author is selling it in an ebook or audio or hard copies. They can click whichever they want, purchase it, and then they can access the book. And if they want to read it offline, we do have a mobile app. When they download it only in app. That is to protect the work of the authors. But for an author or publisher, which is the seller, when they log in, they have a dashboard. a seller dashboard where when they open, they can see the revenue, they can see where the traffic is coming from around the world, and they can upload their manuscript right there. And I'm glad we just also partnered with a courier company, so they upload even the weight and everything. So wherever somebody may want to buy the book from around the world, that courier already adds the fee, and then it's just shipped there. And even if they have events as well, they can just promote their events for free on SA Books Online. They just upload it to say have a book reading or a book launch on whichever day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Simple.
Very, very, I mean, all the best with this platform. I think there's just huge potentiality for it to grow beyond our borders even, teaching other parts of the world about what SA has to offer in terms of its writing and the diversity of writers that we've got. We are trying to move people away from doing things traditionally to getting online and all of that. And that's what the platform is about. And you were talking about serving also as a teaching platform, because you're getting the authors online, but you've also got to train them to sort of understand the benefit of putting their book online. So talk to us about, the traditional space of publishing and why it is perhaps better for an author to consider putting their book on SA online, as it were.
We have a surge in self-publishing. That's a big rise, exponential growth in self-publishing in South Africa, mainly because even traditional publishers have limited resources. So maybe they be looking to publish 50 books in 2026 and they receive 50,000 manuscripts. You understand? The first thing is what's their vision as a publisher? What's their mission? Sometimes when a script is rejected, it's not because it's not a good script. It doesn't go along with their strategic plan for 2026. So firstly, you might have a good finished manuscript and you sit with it for years looking for a publisher. You understand? Not knowing that might be the story that opens doors for you to a third or fourth book where the publisher is now approaching you. So the self-publishing route, what it also allows you to do is have more control of the value chain, which is something that is quite trending nowadays in South African business. People on our own value chain. However, distribution before SA Books Online was a big problem, because a lot of self-publishers are mainly selling from the boot of their car. You understand? And they're not reaching audiences that they don't know. Because you don't make money with your own audience. You make money with audience that don't know you, because your own audience has a ceiling.
That's true.
So that's the whole landscape, to say if a traditional publisher comes along, the good thing is that you don't have to spend your own money to have a book out there. But like I say, they have a limited budget and limited resources. You might have a good manuscript now that they can only publish in 2030 because they already have a line of the things that they wanna put out there. Whereas the country might need your story now, because that's the importance of local stories. The more we consume local stories, the more our minds come up with solutions that sound like us. You understand? The more we consume international stories, we're coming up with more solutions for other territories, and then we wonder why they don't work in Africa. Our subconscious might be a little bit skewed because of what we are consuming.
Listen, if you're an author, a publisher, a writer yourself, SA Books Online, go check it out today. It benefits everyone in this value chain, and I love the work that you're doing, Sbusi. So thank you so much for your time this afternoon, and all the best. And we hope that from 500 to 5,000 is what we need from you. And you're also on social media, if I'm not mistaken, SA Books Online. This is Instagram.
SA Books Online on all platforms.
SA Books Online.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Meta, X, LinkedIn, everywhere.
Can I just say, I think I've got like 5 books in me. And the first one I'm going to write, I'm going to put on SA Books Online.
Let me leave you with this. Imagine in 10 years' time when we have over 1 million books on SA Books Online, and we use those books to prompt in South African AI that sounds like us, that talks like us, that understands growing up in Soweto, that understands growing up in Mlazi. And when you say what shop can I open or business can I open in this environment, and then it gives solutions based on our own stories
and
that were a success.
And that's the importance of those books, because that's data that it's consuming and then converting it to solve problems that we are dealing with.
That's human history.
Sbusiso, thank you so much for your time. The voice of Sbusiso Manqa. He's the founder of Essay Books Online. Go check him out on social media and all on the website as well. It's 32 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the latest sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
And a very good afternoon from the Sports Desk. I am Mosibudi Makura with the latest sports news at the Sawan. So Football Association of Zambia has cancelled Zambia's friendly match against the Ivory Coast that was scheduled to take place in Moreca, Spain on Wednesday. Now, FA's General Secretary, that is Mashasha, in a statement to the media this morning says the Shapolopolo boys will now conclude their week-long training camp on Friday before travelling directly to Morocco ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations tournament. This after cancelling that friendly match that was set to be played yesterday. The FAS General Secretary says the match against the reigning African champions fell within the mandatory 5-day rest period that is required by AFCON regulations before the tournament begins. He also stated the cancellation was necessary to ensure adequate player recovery. Well, the South African Football Association Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Thulani Ngwenya, has assured the nation that Bafana Bafana head coach Hugo Bruce is taking an injury-free team to Morocco ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations tournament that kicks off this coming Sunday. Ngwenya was part of Bafana Bafana's contingent last night as they departed for Morocco via Dubai just a day after they had beaten a Ghanaian B-side 1-0 in a final training match. In this game, Oswin Apollos suffered a knock, but Ngwenya says it was nothing serious after they treated him overnight.
It is actually good to actually mention the fact that we've got a clean bill of health. Yes, we had knocks yesterday, but they've been actually treated because some were worried about Apollos. You're seeing him now walking freely without any issues. So we believe that we're going to have all the players are going to be available for selection on Monday.
Well, Ngwenya is now going to his fourth Africa Cup of Nations tournament, having covered the first two editions in 2015 and in 2019 as Bafana Bafana team doctor. In Morocco, the tournament is being played during the winter season, and Ngwenya says this is what the team needs to guard against.
Most of our AFCONs have been in summer. So right now, because it's winter, you may have most upper respiratory tract infection like common cold. Because it's airborne, it's easy to move from one person to the other. So from our side as the South African team, we just need to make sure that we make sure that the players are not mixing up with other people. Make sure that they are kept in camp as much as possible.
On to summer cricket news now. That's what happened yesterday is that South Africa's hopes now of winning the five-match T20 series against India was cut short by the conditions on Wednesday, with the fourth game being called off in Lucknow without a ball being bowled. In a rare occurrence, the game was not scratched due to the weather, but rather due to smog being prevented the game from going ahead. Match officials did all the work, with the umpires having to walk onto the pitch a sixth time to assess the conditions before they eventually abandoned the game nearly 2.5 hours after it was scheduled to start. So the fifth and final T20 match will be played tomorrow. That's of course Friday. India currently leading the 5-match series 2-1 following the draw, the abandoned match yesterday. It means that South Africa have to win tomorrow in order to avoid a series defeat. And finally, in tennis news, Nick Kyrgios believes few male players would accept the chance to face a top woman as the maverick Australian prepares to take on the women's world number one Aryna Sabalenka in a battle of the sexes exhibition match later on this month. Now, while many consider the December 28 meeting between Kyrgios as well as the 4 times Grand Slam champion Sabalenka in Dubai as nothing more than entertainment, critics believe it risks undermining the reputation of women's tennis. Now, woman trailblazer, that is Billie Jean King, famously defeated 55-year-old former Grand Slam champion Bobby Riggs in a similar showdown. Kyrgios conceded he was a bit nervous. He said women cannot return men's serves and he would defeat Sabalenka without having to try 100%, but also added the match would increase respect between men and women's tours. It's exactly 14:37 p.m. Central African Time. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11714 4459. I'm back with more sports news in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosibu Di Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628. As 2025 draws to a close, we pause to honor the spirits that connect us. The festive season reminds us of what truly matters: family, community, and unity. No matter where you gather or reflect, Channel Africa is with you. Bring you stories and voices that are shaped by the African perspective.
Something significant happened on this day. Asanda, you were a baby, I'm sure. I'm not even sure if you were born. No, you were. You were a baby, yeah.
Yoga. Mmatsheko is still trying to convince me and flip me over.
I've done that already, and you're going to come now on the journey.
I will try.
From all of us to all of you, may your season be safe and peaceful. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
39 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the latest business news. Mr. Golden Voice himself is standing by. Thabiso Lekhuleni.
Business news on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Thanks, Tebogo, and good afternoon. Zimbabwe has introduced new regulations restricting the participation of foreign nationals in some of the country's economic sectors and subsectors. Under statutory instrument 215 of 2025, foreigners in Zimbabwe are barred from operating in sectors such as artisanal mining, bakeries, advertising agencies, salons, employment agencies, and the local arts and crafts industry. Director of the Center for Natural Resources Governance, Farai Maku.
According to the policies they have announced, foreigners must, first of all, within 30 days, submit a regularization plan to the government. And if that plan is approved, they have 3 years to cede 75% of their shares to locals.
Gabon is planning to introduce a new housing tax in January to finance the Central African oil-producing country's needs as its debts continues to rise. The country is facing an acute squeeze on liquidity that has left it increasingly reliant on regional capital markets. Special Advisor Mary Noella Adameyo says authorities are working on a tax that will be paid monthly by an owner of a dwelling or a tenant. Mayo adds that Gabon's treasury will use the funds to improve public lighting, road maintenance and city cleanliness. Uganda's export earnings nearly doubled in October from the same period last year, driven by a surge in revenue from commodities such as coffee, cocoa and gold. A report from the Finance Ministry shows that Uganda's merchant goods export earnings rose to $1.5 billion in October from $769.6 million in the same month in 2024. Uganda is Africa's largest exporter of coffee, and its earnings from the crop have been surging in recent months, boosted by high global prices. Guinea's Simondo mega mining project is laying off thousands of workers just as it begins exporting iron ore after decades of delays and corruption scandals. The project was officially launched in November ahead of elections on the 28th of December, the first since the military coup in 2021 that brought Mamadi Doumbouya to power. Chandugo Lugege has more.
The junta leader is standing for president, and political analysts say he is the favorite to win, meaning he could be in power for another 7 years. Even without Simandou, the world's largest untapped reserve of iron ore, Guinea is the world's biggest exporter of bauxite, used to make aluminium. Its mining wealth, however, has failed to transform the lives of citizens. World data published in 2025 show that more than half of the population lives in poverty.
US President Donald Trump has been talking up his handling of the US economy in a televised address from the White House. He told US voters he would be driving down the cost of fuel and mortgages, but polls suggest that many Americans are skeptical. Trump's approval ratings are tumbling, with the votes highlighting their concerns about the cost of living. But he said that better days lay ahead.
We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen. Soon we will host the World Cup and the Olympics, both of which I got. But most importantly, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. There could be no more fitting tribute to this epic milestone than to complete the comeback of America.
$1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 453. In Botswana, it's at 13.8. Kenya, 128 shilling 3. And Zambia, 22.93. The BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5.50. Russia, 80 rubles 1. India, 90 rupees 47. China, 7 yuan 3. And in South Africa, the dollar will cost you 16 rand 77 cents. $1 is trading at 75 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Gold is trading at $4,324, while platinum is at $1,936 per ounce. Brent crude oil is at $59.97 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Thabiso Lohoko.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you. Africa, it's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K
or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Tamo Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. Enjoy the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa.
واجيل الفتن فتن الكين فتن فتن ودان تلامترس همامي بانتج بيهون ميفوز يا لبي كم ناقر يا لبي كم ناقر أرندن تيلم أرندن تيلم يا لبي كم ناقر يا لبي كم ناقر أرندن تيلم أرندن تيلم يقول كراتي عفى تاريخ هونو لبي تشنف فكرت ماركو لبي تشنف فكرت ماركو عدار ما تشجر تنسى سلسل تزيت يستنيا قتما تيمسل فكرة يستنيا قتما تيمسل يتم مجال عند مشان مدان يزاق يتواجي لفتن فتن الكوين فتن فتن ودام تلامترس همامي بانتج بيهون ميفوز
The Upside, live and real.
You gonna my one side. You make me give number. Me no feel look and pass. She give me eye contact. Oh baby, Jack, come on. Oh baby, Jack, give me this your love. Me I go show you love. As long as you know with me, Joe. Your body must go kill him, and I know mine to be one of them. Columbia body name I want to make my mind a rest. You better make a day with you, cause it's solo show than they cost. Baby, turn around, make a come on down. Feel like I take it by now. You like a boss like Kana. True to me, love, I'm Maya. Put all the love for trousers. You make me want to the dance, girl. Mama, young control shift to your pants, girl. Come taking my banana. Yeah, yeah, now this kind thing. Your body they stand it, no, no. Your body they draw like a bono. Your body they hot, you gonna. Feel like I take it by now. You like a boss like Kana. True to me, love, I'm Maya. Put all the love for trust. Say you get one girl, we show me love. That time I've been there play along. Right now I want day for this love. Oh no, yeah, yeah. I'm on her when she enter, she cause it casala. Miss my flight, I jump in your car. Girl, I want you and I miss your banger. Oh no, yeah, yeah. Girl, you sweet like feel like I take it by now. You like a boss like Kana. True to me, love, I'm Maya.
Iyanya coming through there with One Side, and before that we had Yelebi by Hallelujah Tekla Sadiq. It's now 9 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African time. Don't go anywhere, because on the other side of this, it's time for What Caught Your Eye.
The Midnight Snack, 12 to 3 a.m.
Muranziwa wa mina. Muranziwa means my love in Xitsonga. So if you're listening to this, just know that you are my love. Yes. You and I are an item. We're dating. We are together. So I love you, baby. Why are you blushing? Why are you blushing? Like, haven't you heard somebody confessing their love to you? I mean, you gotta get used to it now, because I'm gonna tell you this every day, that I love you. I can tell you, there are people who are never told they are loved. I come to the studio every Monday, 12 to 3, because I've got an appointment with you. I take you serious. Forget about the other person, right? Moranziwa.
Night Snack, every Monday, 12 to 3 a.m. with Chanduko Ligege. Mmatsheko Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the Upside.
It is 8 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African time. This is indeed The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Join us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok, where we are streaming live. And don't forget to download our brand new Channel Africa app so you can take us with you wherever you go. How's your Thursday going so far? How's your festive season going? Are you on leave yet officially? Not yet. What are the plans? Let us know. +27634069126. 9126. It's time now for What Caught Your Eye. I'm going to keep it light. Because
Keep it light.
It's the festive season. It is the season to be jolly and givey. Is givey the right one?
Wow.
Right, it is the season. Okay. Here's what happened. Right, there are some pretty good Samaritans in the world out there. People who love giving back without, putting their faces all up on the socials. Right, they don't want to be seen. They do it. They give back, good Samaritan, then they walk away. They don't need to have cameras following them and showing the world, look what I did. All right? If you are in the region of Eastern Cape in South Africa, and you at some point went to a Pep store, and you bought something on lay-by, right? I want you to go to Pep and find out what the status of your lay-by is right now. Reason being, on Monday, the 15th of December, an anonymous donor walked into a Pep store in Aberdeen, Eastern Cape, and paid off all the 260 unpaid laybys totaling 132,500 rand. The Good Samaritan simply asked store staff how many laybys were outstanding and then settled the full amount on the spot. The PEP chief marketing executive said, listen, we were completely surprised. This act of kindness gave 260 families the relief and dignity of taking home essentials such as school items and baby clothing, many just in time for the festive season.
Oh, I'm getting teary-eyed. That is such a beautiful story.
Right?
Oh, man. Now I really think about, there's so many ways to do good things for other people, and it doesn't have to be people the gesture could come in any shape or form. That is really beautiful. Labours are very stressful because this is now items that are sitting in the store that you are obviously you've purchased, but you are yet to pay them off so that you can fully own them. So for somebody to actually take that stress off of you, because that can be very crippling, and give you access to the things that you need for your children or for your household is just so beautiful.
Absolutely,
I love that.
Absolutely. So if
the best so far.
If you're in the Eastern Cape and perhaps you bought something from that Pep store in Aberdeen, I hope I said it right, Aberdeen in Eastern Cape, please go there. Go check what the status of your lay-by is. You might just find that it has been paid off, because this Good Samaritan has done just that. He's given back, and I love that. And he's anonymous. We don't know who it is, but there are still human beings like that who are willing to do good, and they don't want their faces all over. Can we have more of that, please? All right, that's what caught my eye. What caught your eye this afternoon?
Listen, mine's a little bit heavier and a little bit scarier. I don't know if you heard about or heard of surveillance capitalism. Listen, this world is moving so fast, our heads are going to spin. Surveillance capitalism is an economic system where companies basically make money by collecting, analyzing, and selling data about our behavior, often without a full understanding or meaningful consent from us as individuals. It's a term that was popularized by Harvard scholar Shoshana Zuboff. And so in simple terms, your actions become raw material. So your data is then turned into predictions. And then those predictions are then used to influence what you buy. They are there to influence what you believe. They are there to influence what you will do next. Isn't that that is scary? There's a video that I picked up on Instagram from the Real Roman account, and how she explains it is just it's incredible. I want to play a little bit of that particular clip.
Brain data is becoming the new frontier for capitalism. So far, surveillance capitalism, if you remember the book I was reading, The Age of Surveillance Capitalism by Professor Shoshana Zuboff, surveillance capitalism up until now has relied mostly on behavioral data. It tells companies what you did after you did it, what you liked, what you shopped, what you shared. But brain data works different. It signals before the action. It measures reaction, attention, emotional arousal, and cognitive load. And this makes it more precise and more powerful. So when we hear stuff like neurotechnology, we usually think of brain chips, or 666, or the Bible, or the mark of the beast. But it's actually very misleading because neurotechnology already exists and we are already using it. And it exists in EEG tracking devices. It exists in headphones, in AirPods, capable of monitoring neurosignals. Wristbands that measure stress or arousal. Devices like Meta's smart glasses that track your pupil dilation, eye movement, or your focus. Now, these devices don't measure your thoughts. At least not yet. But they do read responses to stimuli, what you react to, what excites you, what repulses you, or what holds your focus. And that data can be stored, combined, and later mined, often without meaningful consent. And Farahani uses a simple example that we won't be able to bite our tongue anymore. Her example, she spoke about her orange couch, how she could ask people, do you like my orange?
Okay, you got to go on this particular Instagram account, The Real Roman, to actually hear the entire explanation of surveillance capitalism. It is frightening because we are getting to a point where these chips and whatever are going to start reading people's minds, and premeditated actions are going to be determined. You're going to basically be naked in front of the world. And that is scary. I mean, can you imagine what that means for intimate relationships? You know, being able to read your partner's mind in the shopping mall. Oh my God. Listen, we're getting to that point, and it is scary. It is going to change our relationships with one another. That is where technology is going. And it is frightening. And I know she said in the clip that we're not at a point where it's reading thoughts yet. But Mina, I beg to differ. I promise you, I cannot tell you how many times I've had private thoughts and then see them pop up on my screen. I could be thinking about blue underwear, and it just pops up as an advertisement on my phone. I didn't talk to anyone about it. I didn't say anything. I just thought about it, and it pops up on my screen. So we are entering very interesting territory, and I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared.
What a time to be alive. It's 3 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside. Can you believe it, on this Thursday edition of the show? But before we get into the final hour and the festivities of this hour, let's get the latest news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Top stories: a Sawa uncertainty about the withdrawal of M23 rebels in the city of Uvira, and the US approves the sale of billions of dollars worth of weapons to Taiwan. Good afternoon. I'm Jolani Tulo Wepe. The Democratic Republic of Congo says it is skeptical about the claim that the M23 rebels are withdrawing from the eastern city of Uvira. Wire service Reuters reported yesterday that residents said the rebels had not withdrawn. The group says it began pulling out its fighters, but a Congolese government spokesperson, Patrick Muyaya, says this is a diversion.
Of course, it's a diversion. We all know that is about Rwandan different forces acting. We should make sure we can verify how many they were in Uvira, why leaving, what they live in the city. Most of the time we know the way M23 or Rwandan different forces acting. They can remove some part of military, certain can war like civilians and being in the city.
Widespread power outages have been reported in the biggest Sudanese cities, Khartoum and Port Sudan, after drone strikes hit a power plant. Witnesses say flames and thick smoke were seen rising from a power station in Akba in the eastern Nile state, an area controlled by the army. The army has been fighting the rival paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, in a protracted conflict that's devastated Sudan. The BBC's Richard Cargo has more.
The strikes hit transformers at the Al Bukrain power station, a critical hub in Sudan's electricity network. An official told the French news agency that 2 people were killed while trying to put out a fire after the first drone strike. Several others were injured when the facility was hit again in a second attack. Al Bukrain receives power from Sudan's largest hydroelectric source before it is redistributed to other parts of the country, meaning the damage has had a far-reaching impact. The paramilitary Rapid Support Forces have been accused of carrying out drone attacks across areas controlled by the army, frequently targeting civilian infrastructure.
The South African Weather Service has warned residents across the country to prepare for continued rainfall over the Christmas period and into the back-to-school season. The Weather Service says the La Nina weather phenomenon, which could lead to an increased probability of above-normal rainfall this summer. Senior forecaster Jackie Mudiga says the rainy weather is expected to persist for more than 2 months.
These wetter-than-usual conditions are consistent with the typical impacts associated with La Nina episodes and expected to persist to mid to late summer. From the reduction perspective, the anticipated rainfall may bring positive impacts for water resources and agriculture, but it also raises the risk of localized flooding, particularly in flood-prone areas, informal settlements, and regions with poor draining infrastructure. Communities are therefore urged to remain vigilant, especially during periods of persistent and intense rainfall.
Civil society organisation Water Can says that its recent citizen water test report reveals unsafe drinking water in 8 municipalities across South Africa. The report was a result of over 500 test kits distributed in September to community volunteers who sampled multiple water sources, including taps, household storage tanks, rivers, dams, and other local supplies across all 9 provinces. Water Can Executive Director Dr. Ferial Adam.
In the Sedibeng District Municipality in KwaZulu-Natal, there were samples of unsafe tap water, and even in Mpumalanga and Limpopo. If you look at the Blue Drop report in 2023, it basically tells us that almost half of our drinking water system is not drinkable. What this does is it shows us that it hasn't improved. That in 2023, the Blue Drop report showed us what we're seeing with this test is that there's no improvement at municipal level, and that a lot of people are still drinking water that actually is not fit for drinking.
And finally, the United States has approved the sale of $11 billion worth of weapons to Taiwan. The package includes rockets, drones and anti-tank missiles. Taiwan is boosting its defense in response to China. The BBC's Mickey Bristow has more.
$11 billion worth of arms, that's a big deal. And I think you have to go back 20-odd years since the United States sold Taiwan as many weapons as this. And really what it does is it solidifies the idea that President Trump, who had seemed ambivalent about whether or not to defend Taiwan against China, China believes Taiwan is part of its own territory. President Trump had been quite ambivalent about whether he was going to support Taiwan. This is a big arms sale, so it seems to suggest that he's decided that he does have to defend Taiwan, he does have to show his support.
Recapping the top story, the SAWA, the Democratic Republic of Congo, says it is yet to verify reports that the M23 rebels are withdrawing from the eastern city of Uvira. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo Mwepe.
SABC News. The African perspective. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628. Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
And that's how you enter the final hour of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective, with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and Mmatsheko Mosito. Still coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Happy Thursday to you and yours. Thank you so much for tuning in. Join us on our social media platforms, if you haven't done so already, at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Tell your friends to tell their friends. That's where you can also stream Channel Africa. You can also download our brand new Channel Africa app, so you can take us with you wherever you go. On the app, you can stream the shows live, check out the lineup, get to know the presenters a bit better, and see the amazing work that Channel Africa is doing behind the scenes. It's the final hour, which is a special hour because we've got a very special guest joining us on The Upside.
You know, a genre has really made it into the history books when you kind of trace its origins, where it's now become this global entity that belongs to the world. But Amapiano originates from South Africa, okay? And now it has become, a beast around the world, okay? So we're going to talk to one of its hit makers, one of its producers, DJ, or rather, the musical chef. I beg your pardon. Oh my goodness. Got to say it right. The musical chef is going to be joining us because he's made a return with a new album that speaks to growth, to confidence, all the good stuff. It's titled Ikumkani, which means king in the Xhosa Nguni language here in South Africa. And it's a beautiful project. It reflects all sorts of wonderful things. And we're going to talk to him about it. We're going to talk to him about the name, the musical chef. We're going to talk about how he's shaping Amapiano as a modern sonic space, and you know what he sees as forming part of the genre.
Oh man, looking forward to that conversation. I mean, over 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify alone, from hits like Abo Scoot is Nice, Abo Koko. What else did he?
I know Scoot is Nice. Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of myself. I know it's something.
Oh, you know. That was a big
nice.
one.
I know that one.
That was a big one. And also the play on Scoot is Nice to the show. Yeah, like Jojo Mafela back in the night. Was it 80s? 80s, 90s, Joe Mafela.
80s into the early 90s.
Come on, man. Love that. We'll be having a chat with the musical chef right after this. It's 10 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside.
Africa, meet Abedi.
Yeah, that's me.
Abedi is a music lover through and through.
I really love African music.
He's got a taste for all kinds of tunes and spends his days listening to Channel Africa. Guess what? He didn't know.
Okay.
Channel Africa wants to help Abedi and all music lovers everywhere to discover even more incredible music. That is why Channel Africa is calling on all African musicians to submit their music. Musicians, remember to give us all your relevant information. Make your submissions at music@channelafrica.co.za. Submissions are your chance to be heard on radio. But sadly, they do not guarantee that you will be playlisted. All submissions will be carefully reviewed to see if they meet our station's requirement. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Mmatsheko Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on The Upside.
Yeah. there is fire on the mountain, and nobody seems to be on the run. Oh, there is fire on the mountain top, and no one is running. I wake up in the morning, tell you what I see on my TV screen. I see the blood of an innocent child, and everybody's watching. Now I'm looking out my window, and what do I see? I see an army of a soldier man marching across the street. Hey, hey, Mr. Soldier Man, tomorrow is the day you go to war. Boy, you are fighting for another man's cause, and you don't even know him. Ooh, what did it say to make you so blind to your conscience and reason? Could it be love for your country, or for the gun you use in killing? So there is fire on the mountain, and nobody seems to be on the run. Oh, there is fire on the mountain top, and no one is running. Hey, Mr. Loverman, can I get a chance to talk to you? 'Cause you are fooling with a dead man's corpse, and you don't know what you do. So you say you have a lover, and you love her like no other. So you buy her a diamond that someone has died on. Don't you think there's something wrong with this? Tell me, who's responsible for what we teach our children? Is it the internet or the stars on television? Why, oh, why? Why, oh, why, oh? Oh, so little Lucy turned 16, and like the movie she's been seeing, she has a lover in her daddy. She can't tell nobody till she makes the evening news. For there is fire on the mountain, and there is nobody on the run. Oh, there is fire on the mountain top, and no one is running. Oh, yes. One day the river will overflow, and there'll be nowhere for us to go, and we will run, run, wishing we had put out the fire. Oh, Lord, for there is fire on the mountain, yeah, yeah, and there is
19 minutes after 3 p.m. in Central African time. If you are singing along, listen, I don't blame you. It is such a beautiful, festive piece of music. Fire on the Mountain by Asha from Nigeria coming through as part of our playlist, dear Upsider. Thank you for tuning in. In fact, before that, listen, you heard the musical chef come through with Umuntu Wamlo. That's the title of the song. And that is now a dance floor filler officially. This December is Katsakon, you know,
Sure,
without
sure.
a doubt.
Sure.
And speaking of the musical chef, he's in studio with us.
Absolutely. We'll be getting into conversation with him. He's got a new body of work out, and I'm sure the fans of the musical chef have already heard it. They are raving about it. It's on social media, and he's going to walk us through the whole process. It's 20 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Our chat with the musical chef is coming up next.
Africa at Play with NATO and ETO Chairman.
Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025. Bafana Bafana's opening match is against the Portuguese-speaking nation Angola on the 22nd. What can we expect from Hugo Bros and his charges?
When we went to the previous tournament, we sort of had the underdog attack as a country, and we were a little bit humble. Expectations were not as high as they are now at the moment. So I just felt that players were in a good space psychologically. I just feel that Bafana will still be tournament favorites. But coach Hugo Bros has a lot of work psychologically to make sure that players remain focused, humble, and players are playing without any pressure. Because when South African players are very creative, then we know that the outcomes are very good. But when they are under pressure, we know that sometimes the outcomes can be what we don't want to experience.
Coach Tebogo. Live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et votre 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Mmatsheko, Mosito, and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the upside.
Amapiano hitmaker and producer, the musical chef, is stepping into a new chapter with the release of his latest album, Ikumkani, meaning the king. It's a project that speaks to growth, confidence, and complete control of his craft. Known for soulful lock drum work, steady grooves, and collaborations that move both dance floors and radio waves, the musical chef uses this album to mark how far he's come and where he stands in the culture today. The album brings together influential voices from across the Amapiano scene, adding depth and range while staying true to the chef's unmistakable sound. With this release, he further cements his place as one of the artists actively shaping modern Amapiano in South Africa and beyond. He now joins us in studio. The musical chef, how you doing, my brother? Oh, Popo!
Horns.
How you doing?
Fucking something extra.
Come on, horns is our voices.
Showcase us more.
Come on, Jarvis.
Ngiyabonga. Thanks for having me, and sanibonani to everyone.
Great having you, man.
Sure.
Great having you. Great meeting you finally in the studio of The Upside. Before we get into our conversation, we love to play a game.
Sure.
It's called the game of chance with our guests.
Okay.
To see if the odds are in your favor.
Okay.
The musical chef.
Okay.
We're going to play 3 rounds, and I'm going to simply ask you black or red. You can get 3 out of 3. The odds are in your favor.
Don't overthink it.
Okay, ngai black.
Black.
And then ngibonile.
Pick the card. Pick the card. Show the camera. Is it black?
It is.
1 out of 1. Good so far.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about this body of work, Ikumkani. Where did it come from? Because I mentioned in the intro that it speaks to growth. Talk to us about where this album stands in terms of your growth journey as an artist shaping the Amapiano scene.
So, as a music producer and DJ artist, le album le ngathini it's a keystone to say I'm building my own kingdom now. I'm coming with this very interesting sound, popular music, pop music. Pop music comes from music esikhule ngawo, music that shaped South African music culture, and implement more especially on this body of work, and a sound that people have been consuming throughout the years with the features that I had throughout the likes of Kabza, Mtuda, Kelvin Momo, you can name them, just to name a few. So ngale album now I'm setting up a statement to say I'm opening up a kingdom, a new sound of era popular music, and it's here to stay.
It's definitely here to stay. The one thing that grabs me about your music, and obviously we're talking about the classic, is good is nice of it.
Yes, authentic South African music taste.
Isn't it just?
It is.
But I think what you have been able to do is is teach the world that music is a feeling, not a genre. Because there are people around the world that don't know what is good is nice is. We know the history of the song. We know, we know the explanation.
Exactly.
People are able to move and groove to it the same way we do because it's about how it makes us feel. How on earth do you master that? Because that is a talent on its own, whether it's good is nice or Emlanjeni or John Wick, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mangpega Leo craftsmanship, just to touch base on Good is Nice, the whole concept. As you can check, the Good is Nice EP, Ngatini, it carries a South African sitcom called Stumo, It's Good is Nice.
Right.
And then evolving it into actual music, this actual song being done to the current times of Amapiano.
Yeah.
And that's how we were able to achieve, I wouldn't say it was a plan or precisely, but because of the craftsmanship, we were able to achieve that and bring it into life.
How do you stay relevant, the musical chef? And I ask this because Amapiano, the scene, it's fast. It's quick. It's a very quick space. So how do you stay relevant? And because you are releasing hit after hit after hit, I mean, you are generating millions of monthly streamers on a monthly basis. It means you are doing something right. What is it about the way you are producing music that remains authentic, but yet is also able to keep up with the times and remain relevant to people's ears?
The thing is about me, ngithanda ukreka a nut out of its shell. When I reference it into music, ngithanda bring up something new, something interesting, something unique. That's why certain songs, when we start doing, example with Good is Nice EP, it took time for people to adjust or even understand where we were trying to evolve with this sound. But look at now, sing pete eyami, hip-hop, popular music, into esazowakhona, into esazohlala. So nami ngasho ukuthi it was my own journey of discovery into ngibe confident enough about this craftsmanship and the step that I'm taking and the step that I'm taking for my career and for the South African music industry as a producer. Ukula, you know. Growth.
We're going to talk about the new song Umuntu Wamlo by the musical chef. He joins us in studio. You talk about building a kingdom. Happily, you can't build a kingdom wedwa. You bring other people with you. So in your thinking of building this kingdom, and using Amapiano as that tool to do that, I'm thinking about the music and how it carries our own township idioms, the fashion, the streetwear, you know, the Weskhuluma ngakhona, ekasi, and all of that. You know, who are some of these people that are you going to build this kingdom with as you try and preserve our culture, but also grow it and modernize it in a way?
I have a couple of artists that I have under my belt that I worked with in Ikumkani, the likes of Umda RSA, Orchard Music, your Cairo 1929, and the likes of Abondura. That's like ama new talents. Abanye baphume Soweto, the other crew bapuma East Rand. So ngithi with this album nayo ngiyabafaka and in terms of ngifuna babona bakhulile in terms of we come from different music backgrounds and manje nabo ngizoba career throughout my music career because of I'll be having my own stable that I'm opening in 2026. And Yibaba career a lot of weight in this album.
You'll be performing this festive season. You'll be out and about. Where can we find out more about your next performances? How can we keep track of your performances and also what you get up to on a daily basis?
So on socials in corner, I'm the musical chef, spelled as DAMUZIQAL chef on all digital platforms. And on what you call this, on my social media like telephonic, you can contact me on 06874960035. That's where all information or gig guides come from.
How did you know? When was that moment? I know we're out of time.
Sure.
That Good is Nice is now beyond South Africa. How did you know that, hey, we did something here?
Our first milestone, that's where we were able to reference to say abantu bayireciva kanjani leyo ngoma. Our first million million streams in terms of plagues and stuff. Yeah.
It's now over 20 million.
It's over because of its classic, you know. Yeah, it is
so
big.
Huge.
It is big.
It's so huge. This is how we know you're a superstar. Now, in jazz music, we prefix the legends with da Herbie, da Paul,
da Shenko. That's me.
No, but you are da.
Yeah.
Which means you are a legendary DJ. When it comes, if we prefix a DJ's names with da something,
sure. Legendary status.
They've made it in life. Do you have a mix for us?
I don't have a mix, but ngadlala something if you.
No, you need to. You are
definitely.
15 minutes in something.
I say shy.
We need to take advantage of that. All right. The musical chef, round number 2, black or red?
Red.
Red.
Sure.
Bangena vet.
Angiluzile la. Red. Anginhlanhla.
2 out of 3. I love it. It's 31 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. A live mix is coming up next with the musical chef. Don't go anywhere. Let's get the latest sports.
Thank you.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
A very good afternoon from the Sports Desk. I am Mosibu Dimakura with your latest sports news at the Sawa. So the South African Football Association Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Thulani Ngwenya, has assured the nation that Bafana Bafana head coach Hugo Bruce is taking an injury-free team to Morocco ahead of the AFCON tournament that kicks off this weekend. Ngwenya was part of Bafana Bafana's contingent last night as they departed for Morocco via Dubai just a day after they were beaten, or rather they had beaten a Ghanaian B side 1-0 in their final training match. In this game, Oswin Apollo suffered a knock, but Ngwenya says it was nothing serious after they treated him overnight.
It is actually good to actually mention the fact that we've got a clean bill of health. Yes, we had knocks yesterday, but they've been actually treated because some were worried about Apollos. You're seeing him now walking freely without any issues. So we believe that we're going to have all the players are going to be available for selection on Monday.
Well, Ngwenya is now going to his 4th AFCON tournament, having covered the last 2 editions in 2015 and in 2019 as the Bafana Bafana team doctor. In Morocco, the tournament is played during the winter season, and Ngwenya says this is what the team needs to guard against.
Most of our AFCONs have been in summer. So right now, because it's winter, you may have most upper respiratory tract infection like common cold. Because it's airborne, it's easy to move from one person to the other. So from our side as the South African team, we just need to make sure that we make sure that the players are not mixing up with other people. Make sure that they are kept in camp as much as possible.
On to women's football news now. The inaugural FIFA Women's Club World Cup will take place in January of 2028. That's according to football's governing body FIFA, with the tournament scheduled for mid-season in Europe's top domestic leagues. FIFA have pushed the competition back to 2028 from its original date of 2026 in March of this year, or of that year, to allow stakeholders more time to prepare and to give women players some breathing space in an already condensed schedule. Now, the tournament hosts have yet to be confirmed, and while the competition will take place during the NWSL championship of the season in the USA, it will disrupt the season for many of Europe's leagues. The Women's Club World Cup will also have 6 teams take part in the play-in stage, with the 3 winners then advancing to the group stages, joining 13 other clubs. Now, the group stage will feature 4 groups of 4, with the top 2 teams of each group progressing to the knockout stages. The AFC, CAF, CONCAF, as well as CONMEBOL confederations will each have 2 direct slots, with UEFA having at least 5 berths. Now, with the Club World Cup being pushed back, FIFA announced another new competition. That's the FIFA Women's Champions Cup, which features the 6 continental club champions. The semi-finals and the final of that competition will take place in London in January of 2026. And finally, Nick Kyrgios believes few male players would accept the chance to face a top woman as the maverick Australian prepares now to take on the women's world number one Aryna Sabalenka in a battle of the sexes exhibition match later on this month. Now, while many consider the December 28 meeting between Kyrgios as well as the four-time Grand Slam champion Sabalenka in Dubai as nothing more than entertainment, critics believe it risks undermining the reputation of the women's game. Now, women's trailblazer Billie Jean King famously defeated the 55-year-old Grand Slam champion Bobby Riggs in a similar showdown, and Kyrgios conceded he was a little bit nervous going into the 28th of December. He said women, though, cannot return men's serves, and he would also defeat Sabalenka without having to try 100%, but also added the match would then increase respect between the men's as well as the women's tours. With that, it concludes your sports news this hour. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, remember to send us an email to newsroom. That's at channelafrica.co.za, or call us on +27 11714 4459. I'm back with the final sports update with the Africa in Business team in the next hour. It is 15:36 p.m. Central African time for Channel Africa Sport. I am Musibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628. Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen, all 9 SABC radio stations from Wednesday 23rd of July for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and the whole country affected by gender-based violence. For all your SABC radio stations, call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC. Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Channel Africa. Various stakeholders, including the African Development Bank, the United Nations and the World Bank Group, have convened in Lilongwe, Malawi to discuss policy priorities needed to expedite the country's economic recovery. The three institutions have also produced policy notes titled No Time to Waste, a document that contains recommendations on key priorities that the country should emphasize to address prevailing economic challenges. The World Bank country manager, Firoz Rad, says that the document was developed in response to the government's efforts to address Malawi's challenges such as foreign exchange scarcity and food insecurity. Earlier, United Nations resident coordinator in Malawi, Rebecca Adadonto, said Malawi is at a decisive moment that requires urgent action to tackle the challenges facing the nation. Zimbabwe has introduced new regulations restricting the participation of foreign nationals in some of the country's economic sectors and subsectors. Under Statutory Instrument 215 of 2025, foreigners in Zimbabwe are barred from operating in sectors such as artisanal mining, bakeries, advertising agencies, salons, employment agencies, and the local arts and crafts industry. Director of the Center for Natural Resources Governance, Farai Maku.
According to the policies they have announced, foreigners must, first of all, within 30 days, submit regularization plan to the government. And if that plan is approved, they have 3 years to cede 75% of their shares to locals.
South African farmers are expected to harvest 3% more wheat in the 2025 season compared with the previous one. This is according to the government's Crop Estimates Committee. The committee's fifth winter crop forecast estimated the 2025 wheat harvest at 1.987 million metric tons, up from 1.93 million metric tons harvested the season before. The Kruger National Park in South Africa's Mpumalanga province is advising day visitors who will be visiting their site during the festive season that gate quotas will be put in place to prevent overcrowding on road and their facilities. Visitors are advised to make their bookings on the Kruger Park website ahead of their visit. The park will have different time slots for entries starting from 5:30 to 800 hours in the morning. A Kruger National Park spokesperson, Ray Takudi, urges visitors to bring along their identity documents, valid driver's license or passport. Takudi also added that vehicles without valid license plates will not be allowed inside the premises.
The day visitor quota for the park is a management tool to prevent overcrowding on the roads and facilities. It is applied throughout the year, although we mostly reach carrying capacity during long weekends and school holidays. We also call upon those that will be visiting the national park to also have their identity documents ready. That includes a valid driver's license, identity document or passport. Please ensure that as you enter, you have all this in your possession.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he's giving a financial bonus to almost 1.5 million military personnel. He said each would get a warrior dividend of $1,776, a figure chosen to match the date of U.S. independence. Trump made the announcement in an address to the nation in which he outlined the achievements of his first year back in office.
In honor of our nation's founding in 1776, we are sending every soldier $1,776. Think of that. And the checks are already on the way.
$1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 453. In Botswana, it's at 13.8. Kenya, 128 shilling 3. And Zambia, 22 kwacha 93. The BRICS countries in Brazil, the dollar will cost you 5.50. Russia, 80 rubles 1. India, 90 rupees 47. China, 7 yuan 3. And in South Africa, the dollar will cost you 16 rand 77 cents. 75 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Gold is trading at $4,324, while platinum is at $936 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $59.97 a barrel. For any business stories you would like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg, I'm Thabiso Lohoko.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802.
Es-tu préoccupé par quelque chose? Es-tu passionné par les questions qui comptent? As-tu une voix qui mérite d'être entendue? Eh bien, nous avons la plateforme parfaite pour toi. Téléphone-nous ou fais-nous un WhatsApp au +27 66 408 87 42 et nous te rappellerons. Sois dans la conversation.
Salut Channel Africa, ici Beno le Diamant Rouge et Binal Export depuis le Cameroun, le pays des lions. Voilà.
Sois dans la conversation. Il ne s'agit pas seulement de parler, mais c'est ta chance d'exprimer ton point de vue, de partager tes opinions et de t'engager avec une communauté qui valorise ton avis. Suivez-nous sur les réseaux sociaux, visitez notre site www.channelafrica.co.za et préparez-vous à partager vos points de vue sur Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
As 2025 draws to a close, we pause to honor the spirits that connect us. The festive season reminds us of what truly matters: family, community, and unity. No matter where you gather or reflect, Channel Africa is with you. Bring your stories and voices that are shaped by the African perspective.
Something significant happened on this day. Asanda, you were a baby, I'm sure. I'm not even sure if you were born. No, you were a baby, yeah.
Yoga. Mmatsheko is still trying to convince me and flip me
No,
over
I've done that already, and you're going to come now on the journey.
I will try.
From all of us to all of you, may your season be safe and peaceful. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Africa, it's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K,
or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Tamo ndi
Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. And join the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Madapiri Bazoshitika. Madapiri Bazoshitika.
Madotolo oposa 1,500 amene amagwira ntchito yaulere mu zipatala zaboma mdziko la Zambia azanyanyala ntchito lachisanu sabata ya mawa ndipo Daniel Shabanda kutambasula nkhani.
Madotolo oposa 1,500 amene amagwira ntchito mopanda malipiro apamwezi dziko la Zambia akuyembekezera kuyamba kunyanyala ntchito. Ichi ndi chifukwa chakuti boma lalephera walemba ntchito monga mmene lidawalonjezera. Channel Africa News yalankhulana ndi mkulu wa bungwe la madotolo la Resident Doctors Association of Zambia, Dr. Pochiwe, akugomeza kuti madotolo ambiri amene akugwira ntchito mu zipatala zaboma akugwira ntchito yaulere ndipo ali ndi chiyembekezo chakuti tsiku lina adzalembedwa ntchito ndi boma.
Zochitika pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo. Lolemba mpaka lachisanu ndi Madapiri.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Katika kutazama mwili wa aliyekuwa waziri mkuu wa Kenya Raila Odinga baada ya kuwasili kutoka nchini India. Kwa nini tukio hili limetokea?
Tokea mwendo wa asubuhi kulikuwa na mipango ambayo ilikuwa imeweza kuwekwa kabambe kwamba mwenda zake Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga mwili wake utapofika katika uwanja wa ndege ungeweza kupokelewa na rais, lakini kule kukakuwa na wananchi ambao walikuwa wengi zaidi ambao walivunja kingo na kuingia katika uwanja wa ndege.
Umati mkubwa wa watu umekuwa kimlilia toka taarifa zake za kufariki hayati Raila Odinga. Pengine Raila Odinga atakumbukwa na nini katika taifa la Kenya?
Watu wengi watamkumbuka Raila Odinga kwa kupigania katiba ambayo nchi ya Kenya iko kwa sasa. Alijaribu kupigania pia demokrasia.
Darubini ya Afrika kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa kuanzia saa 11 kamili hadi saa 12 kamili jioni majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Africa Update on Channel Africa with Lulu Kabu.
Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi has now accused Rwanda of violating the peace deal. Are you surprised at this latest accusation? This is literally days after a signing, a ceremony, so to speak.
This is not surprising. I mean, if you ask Paul Kagame, he would also say almost the same thing. One should ask a question. The broker of the peace deal, President Trump, what is it that he wants? Why now? And why is this peace deal being signed in the Americas and not in the Great Lakes? Paul Kagame has never respected Tshisekedi. He has often said Tshisekedi must deal with the problems in his country. He has nothing to do with it. So this peace deal, obviously, when it was signed, one just looked at it and said, this will not last.
Kenny Matiba, former journalist.
Africa Update with Lulu Kapu, 12 to 1 p.m. Central African Time. The Midnight Snack, 12 to 3 a.m.
Muranziwa wa mina. Muranziwa means my love in Xitsonga. So if you're listening to this, just know that you are my love. Yes. You and I are an item. We're dating. We are together. So I love you, baby. Why are you blushing? Why are you blushing? Like, haven't you heard somebody confessing their love to you? I mean, you gotta get used to it now, because I'm gonna tell you this every day, that I love you. I can tell you, there are so many people who are never told they are loved. I come to the studio every Monday, 12 to 3, because I've got an appointment with you. I take you serious. Forget about the other person, right? Moranziwa.
The Midnight Snack, every Monday, 12 to 3 a.m. with Chanduko Ligege.
The musical chef are in the mix is what I want to say, with some wonderful dance floor fillers. And for you, the Upsider, if you were able to catch this broadcast live, I'm very happy for you, because wasn't that something? Wasn't that a nice mix? That was too beautiful. Catch his gig guide on his Instagram page. But this is us saying goodbye for the Thursday edition of the show. We'll be back again with you tomorrow, making way for Africa in Business with Nhlanhla Mahlangu coming through just after the 4 p.m. news bulletin. What's coming up, madam?
Good afternoon. Today on the show, we are looking at municipalities in South Africa. The funding, about 75 municipalities in South Africa are at risk of losing their government funding. We also have something on digital banking as well as agriculture. Those are some of the stories you can look forward to.
All right. It's 4 o'clock. We will see you again tomorrow. Cheers.
Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K,
or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So